Hey everybody, it's Swill from the Panel Network. We are here in Cherville, Indiana at Buddy and Pal's place. I'm here to tell you about the 2K25 tournament that we got going on October 12th, okay? Here's how it works. Go ahead and register on our Facebook, the Panel Network, Panle. Registration is only $10. Once you register on October 12th, you have the opportunity to play for up to $300 and a free copy of 2K25, all right?
Damn!
Nice.
So like I said, go to our Facebook, register, pay that $10, and come out here and run through the competition and see who's the best in the Midwest at 2K25, all right? We'll see you guys soon.
Did you watch Monsters?
No, what's Monsters?
The Menendez brothers?
No, is that new?
Yes. It's not, it's like a already heard about story. Like that's
Yeah.
not new like that. But yeah, the show's new. Do you watch like American Horror Story, American Crime Story? Okay, so.
Everything they do is fucking fire.
You should. American Horror Story, if you're into Halloween and scary shit. So
Yeah.
No, not American Horror Story, but the
American Crime Story.
American Crime Story.
But it's the same writers.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
you
but-
like how he doesn't really like scary Halloween stuff.
Neither
so
do I. I don't like horror.
I thought you did. Is it D who does?
D likes horror.
Do you like Dahmer?
Oh.
Did you watch Dahmer?
I think we started it.
It's the same
I
people.
don't remember if we finished it,
There-
but I remember being
Ryan-
bored by it.
Ryan
Whatever
Murphy
Dahmer
did
thing
Dahmer?
we watched was boring.
No, it's not.
I think Ryan Murphy did Dahmer.
Look it up because I didn't want to watch Dahmer because that was one of those like I don't really want to contribute to this man, you know?
And you're worried that like it would make you hungry and you don't want to work up an appetite.
No.
Oh.
Just that I didn't want to support.
Oh, okay.
A
okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
he did
Yeah.
Dahmer.
He did?
Yeah, that's why this show is.
Okay.
They say this show is like Dahmer-esque in like how they shot it and different things like that. How
Because
it's
he's
dark.
sexy.
No.
No.
There's a lot of gay stuff.
Yeah, I
gay
didn't.
stuff in
I
it, though.
didn't want to like simp over Dahmer too, because like I love the actor who plays him, so I'm like I'm not gonna simp over a serial killer, even though many people did, and I probably would have felt.
We need
victim.
less sexy serial killers, I think.
Truly,
Right?
yeah.
Like they're too sexy nowadays. I'm always saying that.
Nowadays, are
Yeah.
there?
They're getting so hot.
I thought they haven't been around since the 80s.
Serial killers?
Yeah.
No.
Serial killers are like when you repeatedly kill people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's serial killers
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I can't tell you.
Show me.
Then they would kill me. Yeah, there's
you work with some?
maybe I feel like I do.
Feel like it. Well, people.
We're not live, right?
Oh yeah,
I can
we
blank
don't-
that out.
We
You
don't
better.
name drop, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, in the environment that we work in, that you see so many people, the likeliness that you've come across someone who's killed someone
Oh,
is highly likely because I
absolutely.
think
There's
like
so many.
one in like only like 25% of murders get solved or something
Yeah.
like that. Like people get away with murder all the time. And people like murdering like crazy in the 80s because you could just like move towns.
Oh, and you just got away with it, basically.
yeah.
Here, can I scare you right now? It says, according to the Scientific American, which we are all familiar with, there are between 25 and 50 serial killers actively in the United States at any given time.
Ooh, any given time.
Any given time.
One
It's
for each
like-
state.
But that has gone down a lot. In the 70s, there were 300 known active serial killers in the 70s. In the 80s, it dropped down to 250. In the 2010s, they say around 50, and then now it's between 25 and 50.
Yeah, because science, you know,
They're a dying breed.
can't get away
Or-
with this shit forever.
Good.
But like, it's kind
Oh,
of amazing that people can get away with any of that stuff now with the amount of tracking we have with our phones,
Yeah.
with cameras, with.
I
mean,
would be.
you would
I'm
think in-
terrified to talk about it. That's why we say like unaliving and like we censor it.
But like, you would think in the next 50 years, like nobody can get away with murder, right? Like 50 years from now,
I don't even know how people do it now.
as soon as someone dies, there's going to be like,
Yeah.
there's going to be like things going off.
It's gonna
Vitals
be
will
like China.
because everyone's vitals will be connected to everything.
You don't
And
think you
then-
can get away with murder right now?
No, you can. I'm saying in 50 years. I'm
Oh.
saying the further we get in technology,
Yeah.
the more people get caught, the less, you know what I mean?
We're going to have
Yeah.
trackers.
Like, obviously, it seems like, crime is up and murders are up. It seems like that because we know about so many more
Yeah.
of them. But
Yeah.
like back then, people would just be getting murdered constantly and they never knew.
I would have been
Back in
murdered in the 80s.
But think
He
about
said you would have been murdered.
Crime target.
They would have got you.
think about back in like 100 years ago. Your neighbor like wouldn't move his cow and you're just like, fuck that guy. And you just murder his whole family and bury him and nobody ever knows.
Yeah.
There was a
Who are they
serial,
gonna tell?
there was a serial killer in LaPorte. She killed like 30 people.
She?
When was
She-
this?
Isn't
yeah,
that
the,
rare?
the I think she's the worst serial killer to live in Indiana. Yeah, she's
The
was-
worst? Like
many
she was
are-
bad at, like she was clumsy.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
no,
whoa,
no,
she'd fall and like drop a leg out of her bag.
she was like a rugby bigger girl, and she was like pretty cute for that, but like for being that, but
Like Jeffrey Dahmer.
no, yeah, she was a bigger
She
girl.
was cute for being an
And
athlete.
she would like marry guys and poison them, and then I think she would teach other people how to poison their. Oh no, she was setting shit on fire. Is what she did. She burned a bunch of people, burned a bunch of kids, and just she set fires in like different places, and then
She was mad.
yeah, and she was like keeping people like she would like when they finally caught her, she kept like so much shit from the men that she murdered.
Okay, well, that reminds me of Charlize Theron's. She starred in, it's called Monster.
Oh yeah, monster. Yeah,
But it was in the 80s, and
yeah.
I don't
No,
think
no,
it was
no,
Indiana,
no.
but
This
sounds
this lady was
similar.
like I think 1800s.
Oh, like
Oh.
witch times.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or 1920s or something like that.
Oh, she was
Oh,
a
well,
witch.
that's-
Hold on one second. I'll let LaPorte serial killer.
Who was the bank robber?
Belle
According
Gunnis.
to Wikipedia, Belle Gunnis, born Brynhild Palsdatter Storseth, nicknamed Hell's Bell, was a Norwegian-American
Bell,
serial
tight.
killer who was
a
active
good
in
one.
Illinois and Indiana between 1884 and 1908.
There you go. 100 years ago, like I said.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's gonna know?
No.
I would see 100 years ago, I'd be the one killing.
Or
them.
H.H. Holmes. He was I don't know if he was America's first. I think he was America's first serial killer, and he operated out of Chicago during the World's Fair. He just murdered. Have you heard about him?
No.
Leonardo DiCaprio bought the screenplay to the book. The book's called Devil in the White City. It came out, I don't know, 10, 20 years ago, something like that.
And-
Leo bought the screenplay for it like 10 years ago, and the movie hasn't been made yet, but it's been like rumored to be
was-
in production
Okay,
for a while.
so I was like, I've seen every Leonardo
And I think
DiCaprio
he's
movie.
supposed to play H.H. Holmes. But anyway, he was a serial killer in Chicago who he was like I think he was a pharmacist or something. And he bought this big building and he would rent it out to people. Like he was a landlord basically. And these people would come and he had like hidden walls and stuff. So like people were sleeping, he would go into the room and just kill them. And then he would take them through the walls, bring their body down and cremate them. He had a crematory in the basement of the building and he would cremate their bodies. And then he would give their bones to whatever local school was there to like, for the students, like
To
the
the
cadavers,
kids?
basically. He would just give them the bones and cadavers and stuff, and they would just do research on it, but they had no idea that these were like people that he murdered.
Like colleges.
Yeah,
I'm
like the
thinking
university.
like,
no,
"Here,
not
kids,"
children.
With a sack of bones.
I got some candy and some fingers. No, it was like to the colleges. He would like
Okay.
he would either sell the bones back to them or he would donate them, and they thought that he was this like philanthropist or whatever. But yeah, he murdered. I can't remember how many people he murdered. I think it's over 100 people that he murdered.
Wow.
But he did a lot of it during the Chicago's World Fair because
Yeah.
all these people came in.
Oh, I remember that. I remember hearing about the Chicago World Fair. It was nuts. Like
yeah.
it was a really big opportunity for like a lot of people to get their shit off.
Yeah, and a lot of things got invented at the Chicago World's Fair. Like
Yeah.
a ton of shit got invented.
Like there was a beer. There was
I think a lot of
George
beer
Washington
companies.
Carver was there. Hold on. Okay.
Was it like multiple
Famous people
days?
at the World Fair in Chicago.
Were there many days of the fair? How did they just invent beer at the fair?
No, you would
No,
go to
they-
like showcase it.
Yeah.
Like if you had an invention, you would
okay.
bring it there to like show the world.
Got it.
Thomas
so like
Edison-
vendors.
Thomas Edison was like had his own setup there.
Imagine Thomas Edison at a booth at a fair.
Well, it wasn't like a booth. Like they had buildings that they had specifically for that. Only one building is still there. It's the Fine Arts building or something in Chicago.
Huh.
It was actually
I don't know enough about the World's Fair. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. They had
I'm
a
a
lot.
city
They had a
girl.
lot of temporary buildings. If you look at the pictures of it, here.
It was 1893 was the big one. The Ferris wheel was invented
Yeah, I
or
knew
shown off
that.
at the World's Fair.
Yeah.
The let me see.
That's the planetarium now, isn't it?
No, it's not the planetarium now, but they
Looks like it.
yeah, there's a bunch of buildings that are
Spray painting was shown off for the first
beautiful.
time. Cream of wheat, revolutionary. Electricity.
Wait, what is cream of
Yeah, it was like
wheat?
Cream of wheat, like the soup.
it was like it was
Joseph Campbell showed up with
Ew.
his soup, and he's like, "You guys are gonna fucking love this shit.
I'm gonna put you on some shit.
I'm gonna put you on this.
they it was like
Throw
the
that
biggest
porridge away,
display-
you bitch."
the biggest display of lights like that people have ever seen. People have never seen like things illuminated, like a neighborhood illuminated.
Was that
before.
Thomas Edison's doing?
It was
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla and George Westinghouse and Edison were there, but they showed off. I think that's when Nikola Tesla like first showed like direct current to the world that he invented, or maybe it was alternating current. I think it was alternating current. But anyway, that was like his first big display of that to everybody. And like people, like electricity was just starting to come around, but this was the first time that the whole thing was fucking lit and people were like blew their
Yeah.
goddamn minds.
Huh.
Yeah, fucking turn a light on. I just did that.
Yeah.
I have a funny
Like
story
nothing.
about not really funny.
And then H.H. Holmes was like, "That's cool." Just cutting people in half.
Kill, murder.
How I found out about Nikola Tesla was not like in school. I interviewed for a restaurant actually in Valpo. I can't remember. And
Industrial Revolution.
Yes, and
Love that
they
place.
were like, we have a monthly
Yeah,
inventor
Adventure of the Month.
that you have to talk about to your people who you're seating. And I'm like, okay. And like they like sent me home with a little pamphlet about Nikola Tesla. Yeah. And I was just like, do I want this job? But I literally like I thought I killed it. Apparently I didn't. I don't even remember, and I didn't get the job. So
Damn.
fuck you, Industrial Revolution.
Nikola Tesla
I
is
w-
my favorite historic person of all time.
Is that what Tesla's named after?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's why they're called Tesla. I used to do my research reports on Nikola Tesla, like in school and stuff, and I've seen like every movie there is on him. Like
Oh, so
Did
you're
he-
a fan.
I love this dude.
Was he in the automotive industry?
No,
Oh, that's
Nope.
weird.
no. Well, he like basically invented electricity.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla.
Well, that makes sense. Electric cars. Okay.
Yeah, and Edison paid for Nikola Nikola Tesla's from Serbia or Croatia, one of the two, and he came over and worked for Edison, but Edison was just dicking him over.
What kind of car do you drive?
I drive a Tesla.
Oh.
That's literally how I found out about the car company was when I was doing a research paper in like 2008, and I was Googling stuff, and I'm like, it said like, oh, this new car company is
It's been
about,
around that long.
yeah, their first Roadster was released, I think, in 2008. This was
Huh.
like 2007, maybe. I did the research paper, and they were talking about this new car company. I'm like, oh shit, that's awesome. Like, I love Nikola Tesla. There's gonna be an electric car company, so I started following Tesla back then, 2008.
Yeah.
But what?
But-
It became more affordable to the middle class in most recent
Not
times.
only that,
Yeah.
they just like began. They didn't do like a lot of mass production before. They tried, but it just wasn't out there. Like
Yeah.
I remember selling cars around that time, and just hearing about Tesla, hearing about electric cars, and then working for Chevy at the time. Chevy hopped on it like really fast because I mean it wasn't a brand new concept because Toyota had so much success with the Prius, and the
Mhm.
Prius had been around for a lot. But yeah, that was just like a really big. They pushed the Bolt, all the electric shit.
Mhm.
Chevy really pushed that shit, even though they sucked at making it. But
So speaking of serial killers, did you watch Into the Fire?
hold on,
Netflix.
He's
Hold
gonna
on.
introduce the podcast.
Oh.
15 minutes in.
I was like, is this ever? Do you use this song every time?
Is this a Stevie original?
Yeah. Do you use this one?
Busta Rhymes, Janet Jackson. Here we go, one time. How you feel? Baby, come on.
Why are we having another weird introduction to the podcast like last
Turn
week?
it up.
Yeah,
Like last
Why do
week
you
when
have
you
reins
profess
for-
your love to someone.
Her name is Bree, and watch your fucking mouth.
Yeah, and that was weird, and now this is weird.
Well, she didn't see it. I was hoping that she would see it. We go viral. Where's the button
Now
for
you're
when
hoping
things
Busta
like that
Rhymes
happens?
sees.
Did you send it to her?
Directly.
I really don't know.
Wait, that's the wrong button. Here we go. Better late than ever. We tried.
Were you hoping Busta Rhymes sees?
No, God, no. We used to. It's actually kind of like a family inside joke. We used to be afraid of watching that video because it was so much going on, and it just was like scary looking. We were literally afraid of the video. Like my sister, the most, my youngest sister. So when it would come on, ooh, she'd be like, ah! She'd
Okay.
run.
So are
Because it
you
was moving
chan-
images, and
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses aren't used to
No, it was just a weird video.
talking pictures.
No, just wow.
So are you channeling?
Watch your mouth. My mom watches the pods.
I'm just saying.
Are you
Close your
channeling
mouth.
your spooky season?
Say hi to my mom.
Hi.
I'm just saying there's a
Mom.
lot of stuff you weren't allowed to do. I didn't know if maybe movies were witchcraft or something.
No, but yeah, no, we were allowed to watch that. It was just weird looking. But yeah, I mean, backstory. Brie Delio, she's really big into baseball. Her whole shtick on TikTok is baseball, and we were all wearing White Sox gear. And I was when we were at the game. She was at the game. I'm a creator. She's a creator. We're both from Chicago. There aren't many creators in
You're
Chicago.
not from Chicago.
I'm not from Chicago, but we're in the Chicago area.
But you're not
Chicagoland
even.
area.
You're from
literally
Michigan.
not
No.
from
But
Chicago.
I'm
you
just
don't
saying
even
we're
live in
the
Chicago.
We share the same content space, so I thought it would be a great idea to reach out to her, and it failed miserably on multiple occasions. I have a button for it. You don't have to do that. All right. Anyway, but yeah, welcome to the 13th or 14th or 15th of one of the episodes of the Entertainment Panel.
14th, I think.
Yeah, we're moving, man.
What's Into the Fire that you were talking about?
So, Into the Fire is a Netflix documentary about a woman who put her daughter up for adoption at like 16 years old, and
That's late in the game. You only had 2
Other way
years
around.
left.
Other way around. She when she was 16, she put her daughter up for adoption.
Oh,
Wait, what did I
You said she put her daughter up for adoption when she was 16. like her 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
She's like,
You're
you
done.
know what?
You're done.
I gave it 16 good years,
I
but
can't anymore. Out.
but
Out
these
right
last
fucking
two
now.
will fucking kill me. Get out of my house. Somebody take this teenager.
you're done here, bitch. Get out.
Get your license and get the fuck out of my house. drive
Someone else teach you how
yourself
to
to the
drive.
orphanage.
Because you're driving me crazy right now.
Okay. So when she was 16,
Yeah.
when she was 16, she birthed a child and gave it up for adoption.
Got it.
Got it.
Now
Okay.
I'm following.
20, 30 years later, she gets a letter from whoever, FBI, saying that they need her DNA because they found a missing body that could be her daughter's. And she had no contact. It was a closed adoption, so no contact with anybody. She had no idea where this child was or anything about her.
Wow.
The
Don't spoil
I
it because
know.
now I kind of want to watch this. Is
Yeah,
this
you gotta
on,
watch
what's
it.
it on?
Netflix. It's 2 episodes. There's like 4 plot twists.
Oh, now you got me.
Yeah. It's one.
All right, maybe we'll watch it tonight after the
it's
circle because we're up till 3 a.m. every
Yeah.
day.
Get all this
I
happy out of
like-
the house and get to some sad.
Is it new?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Or I think so, right? I don't-
Yeah, it's newish. Yeah. It's very the twist. You just have to be paying attention.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
I'm just saying it's just like I'm not saying that they're hard to find. I'm just saying like it's not something that it's not. There's no action. It's a fucking documentary. It's a doc.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
I like docs.
I mean, there's
like
some
big docs and I
What do you
kinda
mean
laugh.
no action? I was like, my jaw was on the floor.
Well, yeah, you just got to listen to and the people are animated. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's a cartoon?
No.
no. Anyway,
I'm just kidding.
speaking of documentaries, I also went on to watch. We started the documentary, but I ended up finishing it because it was very compelling to me. I like things like cults because
Yeah.
I grew up in a very controlled environment, and cults are
Hey, your mom watches this podcast. Don't be saying those things.
it's not a
I
it's
was
not
gonna
a
say
cult.
You grew up in a cult.
No. Which is funny because there's this guy this is Olympian
That's what they
who's
all
gotten famous and all of a sudden, and black guy with braids, and he's like, well, I grew up in a cult, and I'm like, that's why that nigga's weird because He's so weird. Noah Lyles. Do
And
you
wh-
know
and
Noah
what,
Lyles
and what do
is?
people say about you?
Whatever. You know what they say about me? They say that I might be a sociopath because I have so many personalities, and that
Bipolar, maybe.
and well, no, because bipolar means I can't control it. But people say that I have I can adapt to an environment like
Who are these people? Are they in the room with us right now?
Yeah.
both of those people are in the room right now. Which is funny because like you guys have said it differently. She's saying I don't know you anymore, and then you say it in like, dude, you kind of switch the way you talk when you talk to people.
Hey, code switch.
That's code
Yeah.
switching.
But I extreme code switch. Like my whole personality changes.
Yeah.
But you're also a salesman, so you kind of have to.
And I've been
Well,
a salesman for 15 years.
I feel like I can adapt to. I just don't really need to often.
I have to on a regular basis. I literally have to, like at least 6 or 7 times a day, change everything.
Like literally.
Like right now.
I mean, we all code switch
Yeah.
to a certain degree in certain situations with certain people.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just how often you do it or how deep you go into it.
Yeah, and I've also learned that men in general have they're raised with the notion that they always have to play a role, and so a lot of times men look for, okay, boom, this is my role. I'm gonna play that, and I'm gonna do that. This is where I am right now, and that's gotten me into some trouble in life. It's a good thing because whatever role I get into, like father role, you know, I try to crush it. You know, salesperson role, I crush it. You know, that type of shit. But like in your like if when you're talking about moving into like relationships with people and friendships and things like that, you really have to be careful with that. But anyway, Surviving Twin Flames. That show is about a online cult, which online cults have been becoming very popular lately, especially with COVID. And it's weird how people get wrapped into it because at first they were selling. I'm not going to dive into what they started selling afterwards.
I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
Mhm.
Okay.
I have not.
I think you started it. But
Okay.
we just wasn't paying attention. But basically they started selling like you can find your perfect match. We're a perfect match. We are a twin flame, so we can help you find a twin
Okay.
flame.
It's
I did
a
start watching
scam. It's a matchmaking scam, basically.
Pretty
Yes.
much, yeah.
We did, yeah.
But what they started doing is they started anointing other twin flames, and once they helped those people, they would in turn use those people.
Pyramid scheme.
Not so much a pyramid scheme, but they would, yes, a pyramid scheme, but they would use these people to indoctrinate other people.
Right.
Like they would be, but what they would be doing is getting people to not so much find other people, but to pay more money because like when you,
I was
because
gonna say,
they're
wasn't it
life
like
coaches.
$5,000?
Yeah. So
It was a lot. I know
so-
people were taking out like loans or selling their cars or some
yeah,
shit.
so, because they got to keep this life coach that they
Yeah.
got to pay. Then they got to pay for these classes and they
What
got
is
to pay
the
for all this
life
other
coach
shit.
teaching them?
Basically to keep doing the mirror exercise on themselves.
Yeah, I honestly can't even remember because it was so obscure that it's like, how do people believe this shit?
Yeah.
But
And now, go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say, and yeah, they basically are told to like, all right, if you follow this program or whatever, then you'll get promoted to my job, and then you get to like find your like people that
But
you're
they
being
knew that
mentored
was
to.
never gonna
it wasn't so
happen.
much the job that they were after. If you follow what I say, you're gonna find your true love, right? So at one
They're
point,
preying on like
they-
single, lonely.
Yes.
Well, yeah, at one point, they start telling the people that your true love will appear during certain times, or that person is, or like let's say they'll see a picture of you with someone in the picture, and they'll go, who's that in the picture? And they'll be like, oh, that's such and such. That's your twin flame. And so they would tell them to pursue that person,
Mm-hmm.
and
And if
would
they say no, just keep pushing at it.
yeah, and they would tell these people like everything else in their life is bullshit. Like their wife is bullshit. Like if you're going after a man, and it was like his wife is bullshit, restraining orders are bullshit, the
Mhm.
law is bullshit. Like it's bullshit. It's not real. And they would
So were
like
people getting in real trouble?
people
Yeah.
were getting in real trouble
Because restraining orders that they were told to ignore
yeah.
because the law or the police or
Yeah.
whatever they don't
So they would
understand
like
us on that
pursue
level.
the people, and
And
then the people would be like,
The people
"I'm
would have
getting
like a whole
restraint."
ass family.
Yeah.
Like their kids are bullshit. It's not real. It's like leave your whole family. Like They sent this one girl to Utah because they saw this. I guess they saw her in a picture with a guy. They said it was his twin. Oh no, they told her that there's a random person that's gonna pop into your life, and I think somehow, some way,
It was like a
they
police
coordinated
officer.
it. No, they coordinated someone to like message her, and
No.
made that her twin flame, and he ended up like having a drug possession case and couldn't leave the state of Utah. So they
Oh
made
yeah,
her.
so she had to go to
They
Utah.
made her go to Utah and live with him and be with him, and I think she got married to him. Yeah,
Man,
and
how
he
many
was like a
episodes
piece
is
of
it?
shit.
It was
Just
like
two.
no, it was only two, wasn't
I
it?
like-
love,
no,
like-
it's 3. Sorry,
Okay.
it's 3 episodes.
Anything over 3 sometimes.
But it gets crazy because they
I'm wondering how much I should even say, like, because I don't want to spoil it, but like,
no. I mean, there's a lot more to what they do.
I love spoilers. I'm gonna be honest, but don't ruin
I'll
it
just
for the
say,
viewers.
I'll just say this: they make people, they convince someone that they're actually gay, that they
Yeah.
didn't know they were,
Not
but their
someone.
but their twin flame happens to be the same gender as them. They're like, oh. But I'm not gay. Actually, you are. You just didn't know it. That's why you're not happy because you haven't found this person.
And
so they convince this person that she's a lesbian. Then they convince another person to transition because they told them that you're actually supposed to be in a heterosexual relationship with this person
Well,
of your same sex.
So what was happening is like there were people who just weren't getting their twin flame and they were getting bummed out, right?
Yeah.
Because they're taken. And then it was like, oh, well, just so happens your twin flame is in this room right now. And and it was
you will
mostly
fight to the
women.
death.
It was mostly women. So they were like, you and you, you and you, and you and you. And they were just like, they sent out an email where they paired everyone, but they also teach gender roles. They teach like a male. There's a man.
yeah,
I
male
can't-
dominant and right? Wasn't there
yeah,
something
it's
like
man dominant, and then like feminine, the
what was it?
divine masculine, the divine masculine,
divine
and the
feminine?
divine feminine,
Yeah.
and you were one or the other, and you had to be that. So when they paired 2 women together, one of y'all got to be the guy, and they would just pick the one with the stronger personality to be the guy.
So this person had a double mastectomy.
Yeah,
And they had to transition.
Yeah.
they had
Yes.
top surgery.
Yes.
Stop. I
Yeah.
would probably be picked to be the masculine. Thanks.
But then they brought up how the fact that now this like now they're discrediting like real people,
Yeah.
like real
That's like-
transgender
yeah,
issues.
And it was
because
there was a
unfortunately,
one
that's like
couple-
what the Republicans think they're doing in schools.
There's one couple where it was a woman and she was matched with a transgender man, with someone transitioning to be a woman, and then they were like, "Yeah, you're a dude now." and,
yeah,
and-
it's just
and-
bizarre.
And, then
the
so
fact that
they're
people
both
believed
like
it.
they're both trans. One and they're in a relationship together.
Yeah.
And then
That's
it got
wild.
really crazy because at one point they just started telling people that they're God.
Yeah, it got super religious at one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, he's like,
Like-
I'm God.
And how much money were they making?
So much money.
How long did it last?
It's still going.
Stop.
It's yeah.
They still have members.
There are people
How?
on the documentary who are in it who are still a part of it, who still like
Yeah.
believe in it. Like there was
That
one
they
girl who
met and their twin flames and married.
no, I mean like there's people who were part of like the program
Mm-hmm.
as like a leader or whatever, and they're still in the program as like a leader. And they were like,
But do they have a twin flame?
I don't remember. There were some people
How
who
are you
didn't.
allowed to be a leader without a twin
Some
flame?
they did allow some people who didn't have a twin flame, because the twins. No, actually, no,
I
never
don't
mind.
remember.
They just matched them up. Yeah, nah, I remember. I was thinking of one, but then I remembered that she got matched up, and
But these are like
She
these
got to
people
stay a
who
girl.
run the twin flame thing are YouTubers. So you can go on YouTube and you can find their videos where they give
Yeah.
updates and whatever else. Oh, and then yeah, you should just watch.
they
it.
tell people to document everything, so everything is documented. Like there's not very much that the work that the production team had to do.
But the fact that all this shit took place like post COVID, like you think people are smarter than this by now.
Yeah.
Like you see
Yeah.
cults from like the 70s, 80s, and you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. They have no connection to the world. And like these people fucking,
Yeah.
they can read the internet. They can see that the shit they're doing is wild, and they're still just like, no.
And it's not even like they're like really like good looking people
Well, I
either.
think what happens is cults is people join cults because they want to be a part of something.
Right,
So then they
exactly.
become a part of it, and it's like, how do I
People-
let this go now? I'm going to be
People
lonely
were looking for the real
again.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they found it, so they're just refuse to not believe
There's
it.
a whole ass documentary on it now
Yeah.
on Netflix about their cult, and they're like, nah,
Yeah.
I think this is a lie.
Yeah.
And the guy on there, he's like, they're not good, really great looking people. They're not. I'm not, but I mean, they're really not. But he was like, he was talking. He was like, you know, at one point we had nothing, and now my wife's, she's got brand new Chanel on. You know, he's like, he just like brags. He's like, I'm rich. Look at all this stuff I got. I'm rich.
This
What-
is the guy who
Yeah.
started
Who runs it? Yeah,
who runs
they're,
it?
and they're
Well,
young.
Yeah, he's rich. So
They're, like, in their
he's gonna-
No,
30s,
he
right?
like he like throws it in their faces at the meeting. So he's like sitting in front of him. He's like, look at my wife over there. She's perfect. She's got
Like
this.
you can have this,
yeah,
you know, if you try.
yeah.
Type of thing.
There was one point where he was just flexing. He wasn't even offering it to him.
And did anyone else like get like him?
No, not to spoil
Because
it too
because
much.
it was just
but
kind of a scam. Like they were just
Yeah.
running people out of their bank accounts
one time he said
because they're all funneling up.
one time
Yeah.
he said God talked to me and told me to take half your salaries, and then he just took it.
Wow.
Yeah,
He just took it. He's just like, you make half now.
And they were
But,
just
like,
okay.
if people let you do it, then they take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Which leads me to the next topic, which is a movie called Speak No Evil,
All right.
which is like the tagline of that movie is like some terrible shit happens, and then they ask the person why he's doing this, and he's like, "'Cause you let me," like, "'Cause you just fucking went along with it." Because people are too polite nowadays to want to say shit and whatever else. So, but the movie D and I saw it yesterday. It's got what's that Scottish actor who's real hot right now? James McAvoy. He was in it.
Oh God, yeah.
That dude. Okay, did you see
A
the movie
great
Glass?
actor, yes.
So have you seen Glass?
Terrifying.
Yeah.
So you know how he's like gigantic and mutated, whatever.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, that's probably he probably got in shape for that movie, but it's probably like CGI on top of it, and obviously it was because he grows to be like
Yeah.
6 or like 8 feet tall at one point. In this movie, he is still huge, and I'm like, this guy is just shredded.
And not CGI.
No, that's what I was
Well,
expecting.
He used to be a little frail.
He used to be a little
thing.
guy.
Yeah.
This guy is still huge. Anyway, in this movie, this movie is a remake from a 2022 Dutch movie
Okay.
of the same name.
Why does he look so old?
Really? You think he looks old? I think he looks like he's probably 40.
Yeah, I would say.
How old does it say he is?
He's 45.
Oh.
Oh, that's not. I mean, Hollywood.
He just has white hair now, which
He looks like he's older
it
than
used
Russell
to
Crowe.
be like.
Oh, I've never seen him look like that.
yeah, it used to be like blonde.
Was that for a role?
No, that's like for an award show.
Is normal at wow. But anyway, this movie is about a family that goes on a vacation with a whole bunch of other families to I think Italy is where they are, and they have a daughter with them. It's a couple with a daughter, and they meet all these other people on vacation, and they start like kind of connecting with this other family that's there with their son, and they become friends like on this vacation. It's like a week-long vacation. They exchange numbers. Then at some point, a few months later, that family, who James McAvoy is the dad of, he sends a letter to this family in England, in London, and they're like, hey, you should come out to our, because they also live in England, they're like, you should come out to our cottage on the west side of the country. And the wife's like, I don't know, like, we barely met these people. And he's like, come on, it'd be fun. Like, we don't do anything nowadays. Like, their marriage isn't really, it seems like there's a little bit of strain in their relationship, but like, he's
Not
like,
the worst.
yeah, like not terrible, but he's like, I don't know, I just thought it'd be kind of good for us. And she's like, all right, fine. So they go to his like cottage, or I mean his like I don't know what you call it, like country house. And it's just like James McAvoy and his wife are just being super creepy, and their son has some sort of condition they say he was born with, where his tongue is like cut very, very short, so he can't communicate. And they're just the couple's being very creepy, and they start like disciplining the other couple's daughter. They start like just giving them like weird looks, and they just super creepy vibes. And then as the movie goes on, you find out like the shit that's really happening and what's really going on. And there's like a suspenseful thriller storyline going on with the boy, and the boy is trying to like communicate to the girl like
I was
about
gonna say something about that tongue has to come up later.
well, the movie's called Speak No Evil. But so the
Okay.
boy is trying to like warn the girl about what's going on, and the kids kind of figure out what's happening, and then they try to like escape the house basically once
Okay.
they realize what shit's happening. And it was pretty good. Dee liked it a lot. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. I didn't ask Dee, but I feel like she'd probably give it an 8 or 9. She liked it.
What network is it on?
It's in the movie theaters right now.
Oh, so it's brand new.
It just came to video on demand
Ooh.
where you can buy it, for like
No.
$25 or whatever.
I don't buy movies.
No, neither do I. But we went to the movies on Tuesday, so it was $5 a piece. So
I live literally. I could walk from the movies.
from Imagine.
Yes.
Imagine is so nice.
I mean, I wouldn't, but I could. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very close.
We'll go on a Tuesday for
going
$5.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know the
And
deal.
It's really good. And so Cam, who was the one who suggested that we were going to see it anyway, but he's like, you're going to like this movie.
Fuck him.
Wait, did you see Longlegs?
No.
She said she wanted to go. I wanted to see it too.
Isn't that a horror movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like horrors though.
Well,
Same.
I love thrillers. I love suspense. I love creepy, but I don't like
I thi-
paranormal.
no, I think it's more on like the creepy side. I don't think it's like gory. I don't think it's like that. I don't know.
I don't mind gory. I just don't like creatures, zombies, monsters.
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe he does turn into a creature. I don't know.
think he
I
does,
like it
'cause
all.
I think I asked Cam about the movie, and I think he said there is like
okay.
a.
Wait. Well, why? Can I ask?
Why don't I like those types
You
of
have
things?
trauma.
No. I just because they're not real.
Women always digging for trauma. They're like sharks. I smell trauma in the air. Get that trauma up out of you really quick.
Like, did you get attacked by a demon when you
No.
were 4?
I got possessed as a child. No, I just because it's not real. Like my brain is just like, oh, that's stupid. Like, and then it doesn't
See,
scare
that's
me.
how I feel about like the cults. Like, I'm like, that's stupid.
But
Like,
that's real. But cults
no,
are
I
real.
know, but it's stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. But I'm
It's
saying
like,
like,
how can you fall for that?
but I'm saying like creatures,
No.
monsters, zombies, whatever. They don't scare me because I know they're not real. Like things that
Yeah,
are
but
real
it's still
scare
like,
me.
It's still like creepy.
Like the thought of this movie, like this movie could happen.
So you didn't see A Quiet Place.
No. But like
Okay.
this movie I'm talking about, Speak No Evil, all that shit could happen. That freaks me out more than
like
a Dracula comes down from the sky.
Okay,
That's
so-
not plausible. It doesn't.
possessions. Like, are you
I don't think that's real either.
okay? Because I
So
think
that doesn't
that's real.
freak me out.
So that freaks me out. Like the Exorcism of Emily Rose, like haunts me.
Yeah.
I would like imagine getting possessed by a devil. If that, no, not for me. Okay, so I like the creature stuff just because it's kind of like, yeah, I know it's not real, but I think that's like what makes it scarier in a sense.
I mean, I get it. It's just
What about Anaconda? Haunted me.
I remember that movie. We used to think the movie was hilarious.
I mean, it's kind of like Jaws, like looks
Yeah.
so bad, but it was so scary. So because it's real, and it's like,
Yeah.
could you imagine? Even though I would never, ever, ever be like in the Amazon, like
you have no interest in going.
No, none.
You
but
only
it's
shop in
still-
Amazon.
Yeah,
You don't explore it.
yeah. I would hate to like the thought of being like hunted by an anaconda freaks me out.
It should.
Yeah.
Just to wrap up real quick with that movie, the 2022 version of it was the Dutch version was way darker.
Oh.
Like I looked up on Wikipedia the plot of that movie. It's very similar overall. The
Mhm.
bones of the movie is very similar. The ending is different, and some of the scenes that happen in the American version are like way worse in the Dutch. I think it was Dutch. In the Dutch
I
version of
wonder
it.
why that is.
I don't know if like
what
they
else do
just
they have to do over there?
I don't know if
You
they
know,
didn't feel
besides
like an American
Terrify
audience.
each other.
If they felt like maybe an American audience wouldn't like want to see that type of grossness. And some of it is because there's some sexual elements that happen in the Dutch
Oh.
one that don't happen in the American one. So I wonder if they're just like, we don't need to
Trauma.
we don't need to have more pedophilia in
Yeah.
like
Or because it's safer over there, they have more of a thirst for things like that.
for pedophilia.
Well, just
So they don't
crime and
experience it.
dark things in general, because they're like it's
They're
a
like
safer.
the safest country in the world.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. So anyway, it was just kind of interesting how the American version was like so much more tame, and there was a lot less violence than in the Dutch version. But either way, good movie. Recommend it. Probably watch it
gonna see it.
streaming.
Oh, okay.
Well, just because it's probably going to be streaming in
Sometimes
the
I
next
get
couple
like
months.
the urge to go to a movie. and
Well,
I'm
then
just
go
like,
see it because
Even though it's like I'll go on a $5 Tuesday.
yeah,
like,
see it for $5 for
yeah.
sure.
for sure.
Can I ask you guys a question?
No.
Doesn't
Moving on.
don't the vice presidents like look like JD Vance looks like Republican.
Like they look like the party that they're running.
They look like the literal party. Like everything about them is like their party.
See, I don't think so because he wears guy liner or he has very like Billy Joel Armstrong eyes.
I
Did
know, but
you-
he
And
has,
that doesn't seem Republican to me.
they're
Like I think they're the
ice
opposite.
cold
Actually,
blue. They're
yeah, I
kinda,
think they're the opposite.
I think they look like the opposite.
But there's
Really?
there's such a scale now, like like I don't know. There's
Like,
such a scale with
Doesn't Tim
Republicans.
Waltz look more like Dick Cheney? You know what I mean?
I know, because Dick Cheney looked evil, and you kind of want to hug Tim Waltz.
No, well, yeah, personality wise, I'm just saying like looks like an older.
Like if he was just
chubby
standing there and I
grandpa,
knew nothing
bald.
about him, and
But-
he was like on his couch, like
Yeah,
He
wasn't
sitting there with a
smiling.
straight face.
He doesn't look
Yeah.
threatening at all to me. He doesn't.
Well,
give
you
me
haven't seen him like without knowing him or without him being hacked.
Yeah,
I,
you're-
I know the type of white guy. That's the white guy that I can talk to. I think I would out of everyone would have to know what kind of white guy you do and don't want to talk to. You know, kind of. But I get what you're saying. It just it's kind of like white guy bald. But then again, he's more like our like GM.
Yeah, but you're viewing his looks through his personality.
Yeah, and you can't do that.
No, like. I
You
don't
don't
know.
know.
You're,
him
you're
at
about
all.
you were gonna
I'm
say he
thinking
looks
of
like a
his-
happy-go-lucky guy. That's because you know he is.
no, not like happy-go-lucky, but just like approachable. It doesn't. There's certain stark things about Dick Cheney that were just evil. You know.
So what
he
makes you not
looked evil.
appropriate as a white man?
Wait, what makes what?
Or approachable, not appropriate. What makes
He just doesn't look like his.
no to you? What are the qualities that a white man has to have to be approachable?
Oh, just like that. They may have a frown, but not a scowl. Like
I've
your
never
resting bitch
seen-
face.
Tim's resting bitch face. He's always smiling.
And JD
well, then
Vance scowls. I mean, I don't think so.
Now he just kind of looks like a whiny little bitch. like he looks like he's never had to work for anything.
Yes, but do you know his background?
He probably had to work for everything.
Do you know his background?
I know he wrote the Hillbilly Elegy
Did
book.
you see it?
I didn't read it. No.
Yeah, it was.
What's his background?
No, I don't know. I just know that his he had a rough upbringing. Like parents
okay.
were poor,
Well, then
drugs involved, like
makes total sense why
trailer
he's a Republican.
parks. So
People who've had to work the hardest relate
Yeah.
to Republicans, which is money. So.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but he doesn't give off that vibe at all, and I agree. Like you would think he just had everything handed to him.
yeah, it's just something pompous about him. But I mean, overall, they had a little go a couple days ago.
The debate, yeah.
Yeah.
A little tussle.
It was-
They had a little.
It was interesting because people like the online commentary about the debate was just like these people seemed so much more cordial than like any debate you ever see with Trump involved.
Yeah.
Like I think Trump brings other people down to his level in terms of like
pettiness.
yeah, and just shit calling and just
He
kind of like
is
he
a
brings out like
petty-
the he
petty
brings
Betty.
out like the pettiness in other people versus like I think when it was Waltz and Vance they were both like they seemed pretty normal. They seemed very cordial with each other. They
Yeah.
both said at one point that they agreed with somebody on
Professional.
something else. Like they seem more
Yeah.
like old school politics where people
Yeah.
were just like I think this, you think this.
And
We'll let
I'm-
America decide
yeah.
what they think more of.
And
Not
I'm
like
right and you're wrong.
not like you're a piece of shit because you're destroying this country and whatever type of rhetoric. But so it was just interesting to see how like calm it was and like there weren't fireworks and there weren't any like
Like a
crazy
little
ridiculous
boring.
moments. Yeah, it was just boring. It was just a regular boring political debate. And I also thought it was interesting how some of the polls I saw after the fact were like both candidates, their favorability went up in terms of like likability or whatever. Like, whether you're a Democrat, you came out thinking you liked Waltz more. If you're a Republican, you came out thinking you liked Vance more. Like I'm saying more than you like them going into it, not
Mhm.
more than the other candidate, but themselves. Like they both improved their stock
Their
in
base.
most people's eyes. Yeah. I thought that was kind of interesting. Neither one of them like really screwed up or did anything like damning or terrible.
Yeah.
None of them like probably helped their candidate any. Like they it was just kind of just boring. But it was interesting because it was boring. Like
Yeah.
that's what made it notable, was like it was boring and normal and just like a regular ass debate.
How it's supposed to be.
I'm gonna play a clip.
Violate their freedom of conscience. We can be a big and diverse country where we respect people's freedom of conscience and make the country more pro-baby and pro-family. But please.
Yes, Governor, please respond.
Look, this is one where there's always something there. This is a very simple proposition. These are women's decisions to make about their healthcare decisions, and the physicians who know best when they need to do this. Trying to distort the way a law is written to try and make a point, that's not it
But
at all.
what was I wrong about, Governor? Please tell me, what was I wrong about?
That is not the way the law is written. Look, I've given
But
this,
how?
I've given this advice on a lot of things, that getting involved, getting engaged, that's been misread, and it was fact-checked at the last debate. But the point on this is there's a continuation of these guys to try and tell women or to get involved. I use this line on this, just mind your own business on this. Things worked best when Roe versus Wade was in place.
To violate.
I play that not for the topic of discussion. I play that because look at those gentlemen, just, you know.
I heard that,
like,
but how?
they were it sounded like they were fencing. They weren't really playing with swords. They were just fencing.
Yeah, I mean they were
Bring back petty debate.
I honestly, I don't know which way I like it. I really don't know which way. I think I really like the fact that they stuck to their facts, kind of, because I mean they can't really sell you on what a vice president's job is to do is to shore up votes for the president. Like they don't do anything. They kind of just do whatever the president tells them or delegates them to do. So they can't go into the debate saying, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change that. They got to
They
talk
could
about
say
well,
the
they're going to say
president's
we're going
plan.
to, or yeah.
which was weird because these guys didn't really do too much of that. A lot of what they did was, well, they just spoke up. They
Like
said,
what they believed in.
no, they spoke up to what, like Waltz would say, well, Kamala's going to do this and this and this and that. And then he would say, Trump's going to do this and this and that. They didn't say like we. They didn't use, I didn't hear a whole lot of we. It was like, my daddy's going to do da-da-da-da-da.
My dad can beat
mom
up your
said,
dad.
da-da-da. Yeah, like my mom's going to beat the shit out of your dad.
Schoolyard.
That's kind of
Okay.
how it is. That's how they spoke about each other, and it was light fencing, you know. And he's, "Governor, just please tell me where I was wrong." And if it was Trump, he would have been like, "You." Trump was like,
Wrong.
You're wrong,
Wrong.
wrong." And
Wrong.
but let me tell you, you know, it just would have been different. So
I did see the best video of people putting the TikTok filters on them. I was crying, laughing, like with like a chain and like braids, and like it said like baby.
I love that
unfolded,
technology
like-
lets us do that now.
Like this generation is so unserious. They had like fake lashes on. It was so good. Tim Wall's cheeks were like huge and like blush filled. It was great.
But I think that might be the last debate we have before the election. 'Cause I
They
don't-
had a Indiana governor debate, I think.
No, I'm
last
saying
night.
like between like
Oh,
the presidential campaign. Like I don't think Trump and Harris are gonna do another one.
No,
The
didn't
VP
he say
debate.
he wouldn't?
He
Yeah.
wouldn't. She wants to do it. He wouldn't do
How
it.
many are they? Can they have
There's-
as many times
as
as
many
they
as
I
they
want?
think there's normal. Well, I think normally there's like 2 or 3.
yeah,
Like I want to say 3 is like normal,
they've only had one.
and
But
they
you
only
have
had one.
to have at least one.
I don't think you have to have any.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think you have to.
The way Trump spun it was actually kind of funny because he was like, when you win, you don't have to ask for a rematch.
Yeah,
Which is fine. I just love the way he puts things.
but
sometimes.
also I
It's just-
think he
it's
Ready,
knows.
ready.
Yeah.
I think she knows that the more people see him talk, the more he can get himself in trouble. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think that's why she wants to debate, and I think that's probably why he doesn't want to debate. Is because
Yeah.
he's like, it's probably best.
He
I-
also
I
knows
stop
that.
talking. Yeah.
He wanted to say so much more than what he said.
Like if I'm Trump, I'm probably thinking like, let's do another VP debate because like that helped me probably more than anything else.
Sure up
So
votes
let's
for the candidate.
let's do those guys again. You know what I mean? Versus if you're Harris campaign, you probably don't want to do that again because Waltz didn't do anything. Like he didn't do anything to help versus Harris did a lot to help in her debate. You know what I mean? Like that's their strong point was Harris versus Trump. You know.
My kid's gonna fuck up your kid.
So what's this Batman Walk of Fame? What is
Yeah,
that?
so Batman got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I thought it was interesting because he is the first superhero to be selected for the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I thought it was bullshit because, well,
You
it
think
was kind of
someone else
intriguing
deserves
too
it?
because, well, yeah, but besides the point, it's kind of, I don't know, not weird, but like I understand why they haven't done it because you have to pay to get your own Walk of Fame.
Okay.
I think you have to pay like $500,000 or something
Not
like that.
surprised.
Okay,
Because it's
you
like
mean
real estate.
you mean you have to pay once you're invited to have one?
Probably, but
I can't imagine anyone can just buy one.
Yeah, because then I
no,
feel like
no, like I'm pretty sure there's an invitation, and either you decline it or you accept it and you pay the money for it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Can you say like maybe later?
Well,
I don't have the money
I'll
for
do
it
it for
now.
400.
I've heard of people turning it down, but I can't remember who. But yeah, I thought it was kind of weird. Like I'm like wondering like who's paying for that though. Is DC paying for it? Like how does that work?
Yeah, or the
If you
actor.
played Batman, do you pay for
Yeah,
it?
how many?
Is it George Clooney?
So did they all gather there? All the Batmans got to take a picture with the star?
No, I think they just did it and left.
They had the
just
the
little
strip,
presentation.
the strip Batman, like the Las Vegas strip.
Well, my question to you guys
He
is,
came.
who do you think deserves it?
Well, I was going to
more
ask
than
you
Batman.
because you seem to have.
If it had to
You
be,
said it wasn't. He didn't. He's not deserving.
no, I wouldn't give it to Batman. I give it to Spider-Man.
Why?
Spider-Man is one of the oldest superheroes.
Who was the first superhero?
Who's the first superhero?
Or
Like, who was the first famous superhero? What is it? Who is the first famous superhero?
I have some answers for you on the Walk of Fame.
I
by
was
the way.
calling.
Oh, give me the answers first while I look this up.
It's $75,000 for the creation of the star on the Walk of Fame. You have
Oh,
to.
okay.
It's $250 to apply to to put your name in the hat.
Oh, you
$250 to apply. If
And
you
then
get
get
selected, it's $75,000 to actually go through with it. And of the people who have turned down a star, Julia Roberts turned down a star, Denzel Washington, Bruce Springsteen.
So you can't come back for it.
I don't know about that.
you have to
Leonardo
pay him the-
DiCaprio said no. Madonna, George Clooney, Clint Eastwood, Prince.
I need to
Now-
know why.
Now, what I'm wondering is they didn't apply. So
Maybe they just sent out an invitation like, hey, this would be, you've done so much, you deserve
How do you know
this.
they didn't apply? It said.
well, it'd be weird to pay $250 to apply, and then they're like, okay, and then they're like, nah, never mind. You know what I mean? Like that would
yeah,
be strange.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
guessing
True.
some people who are big enough just
Yeah.
get asked, to
Yeah.
be in it versus having to apply for it.
I wonder who's had to apply for it and who hasn't.
Yeah, that's an interesting
True.
conversation.
But I was thinking Superman, and I was
Actually,
like,
Superman was DC's like first premiere, and then it said that Marvel came to kind of combat DC.
Yeah.
To as a response to Superman. But Spider-Man's Marvel. He was one of their first. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're first. I think Fantastic Four was first. But like he was, I don't know. He just kind of resonates with the people more, I guess. I like
who's
the
your
story better.
friendly neighborhood
Right.
Spider-Man?
And then he was the one who made superhero movies, kind of like
Yeah.
back. Like they did 3 of those. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he
Tobey
was the first
Maguire.
with a trilogy. I mean, well, no, Batman had some movies, but like, I don't know. I guess
Was Christian Bateman the first Batman?
Christian Bale,
Bale?
no,
the
Same
first
thing.
Batman ever.
no, the first
Of like when.
no. Who was the one that played in
Michael Keaton.
So there's Michael Keaton.
Okay.
He
and
wasn't
then-
the oldest. There was one from like the 50s though.
I ain't count.
I'm just saying, like Batman is super old as far as like
Yeah.
when we've seen him on film.
But the recent ones was Michael Keaton, and then Ben Affleck, George
Pattinson,
Clooney.
Robert Pattinson's
Robert
the most
Pattinson.
recent, I think.
Yeah,
They've
disgustingly.
done way too many. They're
Too many.
They've
many.
overdone.
Too
Yeah.
many, and now that, I mean, I think they still have to find more for some reason. But I
Like,
don't know.
why are you still even making these?
Yeah,
There's
The
so
original
many.
Batman on screen looks like 1966. And then
Yeah.
remember Christopher Reeves, he was Superman. So
Mhm.
like Superman and Batman, I don't know enough about superheroes to know, but I feel like they're like two of the
The
oldest
tops.
on screen ones we've ever had.
Superman
Okay.
is just legit the oldest.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, yeah.
So who do you think deserves a
Star on the Walk of Fame.
star?
In
Okay.
general, of anyone?
No, of superheroes.
Oh.
Do you agree with Spider-Man?
Yeah. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. Those seem like the first three that would have to go in. Those are the
and then
biggest three.
if you have to go past that, Wolverine. Just for what Wolverine has done.
I don't
in
even
cinema.
understand the Wolverine.
But he's a more recent one.
Yeah, but no, Wolverine's around in the 60s.
Are X-Men?
Really?
In comics, yeah.
Oh, but I mean like on screen.
No, on screen he's newer, but because of what he's done on screen.
Yeah, I mean I'm just talking about like I'm just thinking about in my
'Cause
head.
Walk
like,
of Fame, I think Hollywood.
TV
Hollywood,
movie.
I think. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
why I don't consider like a comic from the 40s to be like someone who deserves a Walk of Fame when I'm thinking of TV shows and movies.
Yeah,
starring
because
these people.
I think of X-Men, but when I think of X-Men, I think of specifically Wolverine because he's the one that got the extra few movies afterwards.
Right.
And
I forget about X-Men and their
X-Men
affiliation
carried
with,
Marvel.
yeah,
for,
with
for a long
Marvel.
time. You
They're
know?
kind of just like their own little thing to me.
Yeah.
Not even like
And
a
they've always
part
been
of
so. And
Marvel.
and they really pushed the whole. You know, they Fox carried us
Mm-hmm.
through the early 2000s with superhero movies before Marvel really took over. You know,
Was Chadwick Boseman the first Marvel superhero actor to die, or did the old guys dead? Like
Oh,
in
yeah.
the
the old
60s,
guys,
they're
yeah,
dead.
yeah. But he was the first, like, on the Marvel Cinematic Universe to pass on. Yeah.
Because the others were DC,
Well, no,
like
just
Batman and Superman guys.
I mean, you just in the modern times, you haven't really seen any besides the guy in the chair, Reeves,
Christopher Reeves. Yeah.
Christopher Reeves, but he was kind of
He's
he was closer to death his entire life.
Is he dead? He's got to be
He's
dead.
looking
Right?
on
He's
the
gone.
wild
He's dead,
side.
right?
He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
It was
gone.
expected.
Yeah, which was funny because your favorite rapper Eminem rapped about him after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eminem's your favorite rapper?
No.
Oh.
But he just said that.
because he's wet.
But I was gonna say there are almost 3,000 stars in the Walk of Fame. So
Way
it's
too
getting,
many.
It's getting a little
Have
watered
you ever
down.
been?
Way too many.
No, Dee and I did go to Hollywood. We did not go to the Walk of Fame
I've
or
been
walk down.
there.
It's 18 blocks long.
I did a part of it.
It's too long.
I don't remember how much. I was like 15, but it was pretty cool.
Did you pee on any of them?
No.
That was your chance.
Who would I be on?
Aren't you jealous that girls
What
could just get
star
that
would
off?
you pee on? Yeah, you just
You
kind of
just-
stand over and you just kind of kick the
You
'cause-
kind of
kick the ankles out a
do
little bit.
that.
The minute I whip my
No, but
dick
you can
out,
wear a dress. You
Yeah.
can just pee out of your dress.
You
I have
can
to
wear
pull
a
it out.
dress.
I
yeah,
have
okay.
to, I have to
Okay.
pull it all the way out. I have to scare people.
I would rather
I have to
just
hold it. I have to hold it. And if I'm
Why
holding
do
it,
you have to
everyone's.
hold it? I feel like you could just like.
That's a dangerous game.
Even
you,
if-
you don't
yeah.
want to know what happens if I just let this thing go. It's a dangerous game.
Even if we were wearing dresses, we couldn't just pee straight down like that.
No,
like
we'd have to hold
accurately.
it.
Well, no. Sometimes you pee on yourself because like it's not just like a you. So you have to push out to like make it go.
So you're saying it might
Or
spray, which I get.
Yeah.
You gotta powerhouse the setting.
And
Yeah,
then it's
it's-
like there's dripping at the
it's
end.
not just a
for you
faucet.
guys.
I understand
You know,
that,
just
but
turn off the faucet.
Always
It
have
didn't stop
something
at
in
the
the
hole.
car.
Yeah, if
To wipe.
if you could put a hand inside of your own dress and then direct your stream straight down,
Yes.
then it's more accurate. Yeah,
Like
I
a
understand
water
what you're saying.
hose.
That's
You just
what
put
I'm
your thumb on
trying
a
to
little bit
do.
of it.
Just
Yeah,
right.
and
in
you
that
could do
sense,
that
yeah.
so discreetly,
That's a clip button. You just punch down on the clip button.
right? You could
Or
do
you
that
just
discreetly.
you hold like I don't know something under your shirt that like pushes like
Well,
the head of it
you know,
straight
girls
down.
have that
And you
that,
have
that,
like
that
a-
funnel, right? You know, they got.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
true.
yeah, they got
True.
the funnel things.
Yeah. So what are those
See?
called?
I don't know. It's
I'm,
the thing
but I
that
feel
you
like
the
that's
cone.
like
Those-
a whole thing. Like
The
if
Those are
cone.
called beer
Imagine-
bongs.
Imagine if you're using it and like I don't know, you just like make a mistake and kind of flinging your peas everywhere. Like
Oh, I deal with that every day, at least 5 times a day.
5 times
I
because
pee
you
a
gotta
lot
whip it out of your jeans.
Well, I pee a lot at night.
Why do you not pull your pants all the way down to your?
No.
No,
ankles?
you just put a
You
little
just-
hole in your boxers.
Yeah.
That seems very unsanitary.
Or like if you're wearing a belt, you just unzip and you just pull it through the zipper.
Yeah.
they're that little.
What?
No,
How do they fit through the zipper?
The zipper's like
You don't-
that big.
Oh, okay.
you just think guys are in bathrooms pulling their pants?
Do you
down?
guys have zippers that are that big? That are only a
You just
half
like-
an inch tall?
Like you think that if you just walked into a
Your
men's
zippers
bathroom,
are this-
you're
Yeah.
seeing ass all the way down.
How small are your zippers?
Like this?
Yeah, but
Really?
that's because you guys don't have to compensate for like almost hitting something.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
But-
mean,
but wait,
depends. If
you-
you're not
so
wearing underwear.
You think that guys pull their pants down to pee?
I
like
guess
toddlers, like all the way down to their ankles.
Toddlers
Like
are
a grown ass
sitting.
man, you pull your
That's
Batman
crazy.
underwear all
Toddlers
the way
are
down.
sitting. I guess I never thought of it.
Yeah, no, we
I
can't
would
do that
think-
because we have
so
to pee in
if-
public.
Okay, but if there was a stall, you would, or in the privacy of your own home,
Well,
you
see-
would, or
see,
do you
that's
just
the
get
thing.
comfortable with it? You just
I can't use the little stalls. I have to go into a thing because if I pee, I'm holding my dick, so I'm holding it like a little bit away from, but then I have to back up because the pee stream.
You mean from the urinal?
Yeah, I can't use the urinal.
okay. You called
Yeah,
it a thing, and
a
I'm
stall,
trying to
a
think.
stall.
Well, you just gotta know the angles. You gotta hit the curved angle of the urinal.
I don't like
so
that.
it
There's
sprays
always
in
back
that.
spray on all over. I don't like.
You
I don't
can't
want
just you can't aim straight down the barrel. It's gonna come right back at you. You gotta hit the curve so it.
I don't want
shoots.
I don't want any type of mist. I don't want
Or
a pee mist.
the places that have like the urinal cakes that are like the urinal. I don't know what they call them. Not the cakes, but the pads, urinal pads.
I
You
have
pee
a-
into those,
Oh.
and
the
those
thing
are
is, I
splash
have
guards.
a little bit
I've
more
seen
dick
those.
that I have to like back up a little bit, and I don't like, dude. You don't,
Okay, calm down. It's
so
just a matter
uncomfortable to
of.
pee next to another guy. It's so uncomfortable.
I'm just.
And
You're
they
talking about
always look.
backsplash.
Yes, that too. That's
But
a
I'm
problem.
saying you just got to hit the angles right, and you won't splash on yourself. That's all you gotta do.
I don't like it. I don't like so
I'm
so
sorry
if I
you
can't
have to do that.
if I can't get into a
Sounds
private stall,
horrible.
I don't go. I'll walk in, look,
So
I won't go.
Really, you don't go. So you won't pee in a urinal.
No,
Really, I did not know that.
no, I will not. No.
Hmm.
It makes peeing at public like stadiums a pain.
Yeah, I was
Do
just
they
thinking about
not
that when
have-
I
I
was
didn't,
at
I didn't go.
Sox game.
I didn't go.
Do
Yeah,
they
you
I
went.
have
I
saw,
didn't
yeah,
go.
you peed in the
stall?
sink. I remember.
let's see.
No, no, but the only things I won't pee in are troughs, like Wrigley Field and Wrigley Field doesn't anymore, I don't think, but Notre Dame Stadium I think still does, where you just pee in a giant trough. That's gross to me.
That's, is there like ice in it?
Yeah.
too?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but it's just a trough. Like you are elbow to
Yeah,
elbow
yeah,
with somebody
yeah.
else, and you're just peeing into a long
Dick out.
trough.
Dick
Ew,
out.
That's
It's weird.
So
no.
unsanitary.
It's weird.
No, I don't like it.
There's like videos of people like sliding down jumping in them and sliding across the troughs and just spraying everyone with piss.
Oh god.
And
Yeah.
they're getting covered in it because they're sliding.
Yeah, like drunk people at like sporting events. Like you can find YouTube
Ew.
videos or whatever of people who will run and then they'll jump and they'll slide across the trough and just spray everyone.
Look at what you people do.
I don't know what ethnicity the person was. I'm just saying it
You
was
know
gross
they
as
were.
hell. They're probably white.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gross. I don't like troughs. Troughs are weird to me. But everything else, urinals are fine.
And just walk
Yeah.
right out of there and go order a hot dog and eat it with their hands.
Ugh. But when they have urinals, they do just have them out in the open. Like
They're-
you don't get any privacy at all.
Right, man.
No, some places have dividers.
Some
I
places
They'll have
always
like a
just-
foot or two of divider. Some places don't.
Usually they don't. A lot of places don't have dividers.
Yeah.
Or if they
that
do,
would-
it's like this. And you're just like,
Yeah, some of the dividers
that
are
would
like
be-
only 2 feet off the ground. It's like,
Yeah.
who are you dividing?
like they're dividing our feet, I guess.
Yeah.
We're going to play footsie while our dicks are out.
Yeah, some of the dividers aren't really
Hold
dividing.
hands.
Hey, so this is why I don't like bathrooms in public places. Like, I mean, I would love it if they just made like individual things with both. You want to stand up? Cool, stand up.
Well, have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
Yes,
No.
I have.
So Buc-ee's, all the stalls are floor to ceiling.
Yeah.
Like
Give it to me.
you're just in a closet. You're literally like in a closet. The only gap I think is at the top. Maybe there's like a 1 foot gap, but the door goes all the way to the floor. The sides are just cement.
Yeah.
And then the urinals, they're each cement and they're like a 3 foot cut in. So you walk into it, so you can't see anybody's shoulders. Like you look to your left and right, and it's just a wall. Like you walk into a little cubby
I like it.
for all of their urinals too.
I like it. Buc-ee's, man. I've heard great things about them. And they got a good
Yeah.
brisket. I
Yeah,
hear.
they surprisingly have pretty decent food there.
Yeah.
Every time I go, we load up on snacks. We're a big Buc-ee fan.
Snacks.
I just went
Yeah.
for my first
Buc-ee's
time.
has an unbelievable amount of snacks.
It's
I don't eat snacks.
huge. It was overwhelming.
You don't like snacks?
No, I like meat.
What? What is
Carnivore.
it?
I don't like chocolate and candy and cakes
And chips
and
and-
chips. No,
You just like your
What do you eat on a road
meal,
trip?
Like a meal.
I if they
You just
have
eat meals on road
Yeah,
trips?
they
You
just
probably
have-
like beef jerky.
no, I just like give me a hot dog.
Okay, you just scarf down a
Yeah.
couple hot
Do you ever
dogs.
take road trips?
Yeah, we've taken road trips.
And there wasn't a bag of snacks.
No.
I think I had.
I'm just
I
like
don't
my whole life,
remember.
my family.
No, I'm a snack queen.
Yeah, my whole life, my family did road
Chips.
trips. I'm so used to and good with road trips that like whenever D and I take at least 1 or 2 a year road trips, and we always have a box that just full of snacks, and then we have a cooler that's full of drinks.
I do have that. I drink a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of fluids, but I don't eat anything. I just eat wherever
Well, you eat hot dogs.
Yeah, well, I eat where, like, if we stop, I'm just gonna eat like a meal. I'm not gonna
Like a breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, like obviously now
No,
with
I'm
my
snacking.
electric car, we have to stop every like 2.5 hours to charge. So like we'll stop and sometimes try to plan out a meal on a stop. But other than that, it's just snacks all day.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
I don't. The thing is, I don't like to finger fuck my food. Give it all to me. Give me the real fucking thing. All right? I don't want a little snack. No, I want a fucking meal with meat and cheese and creamy goodness somewhere in it.
Yeah, I mean,
I want bread.
that's how I feel when I'm on my period.
I don't, like a,
Yeah,
like
Steve,
a
are you
snack. I
often
was like,
feeling
want
like
these-
you're on your period?
No, like, you want these little bites? No, give me a fucking burger. Give me
Yeah.
with fries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't want a fucking snack. I don't.
Not even sometimes. Maybe when you got the munchies.
When I have the munchies, I eat enough snacks to equate to a meal. It's just sugary meal. Sugar
you'll-
meal.
Fourth meal.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch the show American Pickers?
Tell it to me, and I'll let you know. I think so.
American Pickers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I my black ass would watch a show called American Pickers.
Listen,
He
not
wasn't
everything is
racist.
race related, Steven.
Oh my god, it sounds terrible.
No.
It sounds like 1776
No.
to me.
What they mean by pickers
Like
is
Roots.
they operate mostly in Midwest places,
Oh yeah.
and they go to very rural areas
It's good.
and they look for anyone who's dark skinned. No, I'm just kidding. No, but they go. It's usually white hillbilly people,
No.
and they go through and they find people who have like a shed or a pole barn full of shit that they haven't looked at in 60 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I'll give you $60 if I can have that." And the people are like, "All right, that works for me." And they just buy antique stuff
Hell yeah.
or like
that
rusted
sounds like
out
I
whatever.
want to be an American picker.
Yeah, and they buy it, and on the show they always
It was
show
just
like,
sitting there anyway.
yeah, they're like, I haven't been in this barn since Martha died 4 to 5 years ago, and they go
I
in.
would love that's like an estate sale. Like
Yeah, but it's these people who aren't even trying to sell these things, so whatever
Yeah.
they get for it, they're like, fine, whatever, I'll take it.
yeah, they'll take
So
whatever.
they're going
you
in
can
and they're
just
like, oh, this is an old
scam.
like Coca-Cola sign from
That's
the
like
50s.
legal. They're allowed to do it. Did they ever get in trouble?
No, of course they're allowed to do it.
Just
Yeah.
preying on people who
Yeah.
don't know the value of their.
Yeah,
Pretty
and they
much.
say like, "Oh, I'll give you $50 for that sign." All right, go ahead and take it. And on the
Yeah.
show, they'll show $50, like picked for $50,
But
and they'll
it
say
was worth-
estimated
I have
value,
seen-
and then they'll say like how much they made off of it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting to see like, yeah, some of these people get kind of screwed over, but they're also these guys. They're also pretty fair on some. Like they'll go up to a couple or whatever, and they'll say, you know, how much you want for this, whatever, and the couple say, I don't know, give me $20, and he's like, I'll give you 65, and the people are like, okay, because then they'll show it's worth like 120. So they try to like they
Okay.
try to
Oh,
help
that's
the people
cool.
out a bit,
Got it.
and there are some things where the people will be like, oh, I don't really want to sell that, and he'll be like, all right, and he'll give him a better offer, and then they'll say no, and he's like, all right, that's fine, we'll find something else. Like they try to work with these people because it's oftentimes older people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people who are poor and they're just like, they don't give a shit. They'll give whatever. So it's just interesting to see all the like old, like Americana stuff that gets sold at these places. And a lot of what they're buying is like I said, old signs, like
Yeah.
old Coca-Cola signs or
I
Texaco
love
or
Storage
like
Wars.
storage.
That was a good
That
one.
show's fake though, which once I
No,
found out it
don't
was
tell
fake, I
me.
couldn't watch it anymore.
I mean, I don't watch it anymore, but I loved watching it. Like
Yeah,
when it came
those-
out.
It's
Those
fake.
yeah, those are planted. Those are planted storage containers that they already know what's in it, and they put things in there to sell
Come
it.
on.
Sorry,
I bet you told little
Okay.
niggas Christmas that
Santa wasn't real.
Santa was real too, did you, motherfucker? Shit, he was like, hey, your
By the way.
6-year-old ass. My mom said that Santa isn't real, and she's the one putting out the. This little nigga fucked it up for everybody. They 6, man. Let him live.
Yeah, sorry to take away your Storage Wars from you. It's not real, people.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway, Frank, the short, pudgy guy on American Pickers, he died. He's dead.
Is that Rust? Oh no,
No, that's American Pickers. There's like-
Frank American
You spent 15 minutes.
You should
telling
watch
us-
the show, but also
Tell
he's
us
dead.
about this show.
There's
How great the show was, and then you're like, yeah, that guy,
There's
that guy.
another
That guy that
RIP.
I just made you fall in
Someone
love
else-
with, who's so nice and
Someone
homey.
else did.
Yeah, he's dead. So
Well,
That's terrible.
R.I.P. the
R.I.P.
American
Frank.
Pickers OG.
I don't know if the show.
Does he have a Walk of Fame star?
I
No.
don't know.
Probably not.
I don't know if the show is still going on. I don't know if it's going to continue without him. I don't really know. I just know it's one of those shows that's like always on when you're like at the dentist or whatever.
Yeah.
And I used to watch it when I had like access to it in college or whatever the hell, whenever I had cable. So it's interesting, but I haven't watched it in years. But so yeah,
How did he die?
no idea. I mean, he was kind of overweight, so I'm guessing he did it to himself. So I just saw today that that this movie Rust. Do you remember when Alec Baldwin murdered that woman? On the set
Hey,
of-
fuck you, Alec Baldwin. Piece
Yeah.
of shit.
That movie apparently is coming out in November. I honestly thought the movie would never get made after somebody
Yeah.
literally got murdered.
Surprise.
Hey, so yeah, so the movie, she's gone, and her family's gonna miss
That's,
her
like, very
forever.
But we did
dramatic.
spend a lot of money on
Yeah.
this movie.
Very
They're just gonna have to be reminded forever.
Don't worry, we'll put like a in memory of, and
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. And that's
So,
probably
yeah,
what they did.
Honestly, had no idea the movie was still coming out. Apparently, and obviously, they cut that scene. Like they changed the story to avoid that whole
Like,
scene.
Did they avoid it to where she's not even in it? Or does she still die in
No,
the
she
movie?
was she wasn't part of the cast.
Oh, was she like a
She was-
crew member?
Yeah, she was a crew member.
Yeah, right. It was
Yeah.
a camera person that he killed.
Mhm.
He was pointing the gun at I think a camera
Trigger warning.
and pointing the blur that out.
Yeah.
Pointing the gun at a camera, and he fired it, and apparently it was loaded, and it
Yes.
wasn't supposed to be.
Yes.
Or it was supposed to be loaded with a blank, but a real bullet was put in. I can't remember the exact specifics, but
Mhm.
yeah, then
And
he killed.
and he
the
still
woman.
denies that he pulled the trigger.
Does he deny that he pulled the trigger,
Yes.
or I thought he
Yes.
said he couldn't remember if he pulled the trigger?
No,
or
he
not.
denies pulling the
And
trigger.
also, like, weren't there cameras rolling? Shouldn't there
Yeah.
be tons of footage
I think,
of
nah,
everything?
I think this was like
Practicing?
practicing, yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like there should
But
always
weren't
be
there
cameras
a
rolling.
bunch of people there?
There were, but like I think people. I mean, I'd have to look into the details of
Yeah.
the case, but I want to say people said like it happened so fast, no one actually saw him if he really pulled the trigger, if his
Yeah,
finger, because I
nobody
think his
really
finger
wants to
had
be
to
the
be
one.
on the trigger for the shot, but maybe he's saying he didn't actually like apply pressure. I don't know what it was,
Faulty
but
guns.
the armorer is in jail right now. She's the one who went to jail. She's
Yeah.
serving
Yeah,
18
did she-
months for involuntary manslaughter, I believe, because she's the one who is ultimately responsible for making sure the correct ammunition was put in.
What fucking dirty motherfuckers for still putting this movie out, man.
Yeah, like I said, I guess they got to make sure they
Jeez.
recoup their money, and we'll see. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to want to watch it just because they're
Just
like,
because
"Oh,
of that
this is
shit,
the
yeah.
one. Like,
She got popped.
this is the movie where the woman died," and people are going to want to watch it for that reason.
That's nuts.
So, but apparently it's airing in Poland in November, or at least that's where they're debuting it. And then I don't know when it's going to come to U.S. Theaters or whatever, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how it is. It's actually got a decent cast. Like, it actually seems like a movie that sounds interesting with a decent cast, but I don't know. It almost seems like
Eerie.
distasteful to
Yeah, very
Yeah.
insensitive, not very
to
mindful.
watch the movie. Not very demure, not very
Not
mindful.
Very at all.
Maybe
What's
I would.
it even about?
Rust.
I honestly don't remember what it's even about.
It's a
Okay.
cowboy type thing.
Yeah, it's a Western movie. Yeah, it's a Western, but I don't know what the plot of it is. But that happened 3 years ago. I
Why are we
think.
giving it to the Polish?
I don't know why it's debuting in Poland. I don't know if it's a film festival.
We're only gonna bring this out if these motherfuckers in Poland like it. Like, what are they?
I don't know if it's a
Well,
film
Are they the
festival.
You're
cinematic
just saying how
gods
the
over there?
Dutch need the traumatizing
Right.
things.
Well, maybe we should.
I mean, Poland had some shit happen in the 40s, so they know trauma too.
What happened? Oh, Oh,
that.
Oh, that.
Are you denying what happened?
Oh,
Steve?
the Holocaust.
Are you
Shit.
denying that?
I totally forgot about that.
Sometimes I forget it was the 1940s.
Yeah, it was like 41 through 44 or something like that. I love the Holocaust. I love stories about the Holocaust.
I went to the Holocaust Museum.
Yeah, so did I. I'm fascinated by like Holocaust movies and like stories and not books because I don't know how to read, but like anything Holocaust related.
Have you ever had a dream that you had?
Is that disrespectful to the Holocaust?
This clip?
No, just playing it while you're talking about the suffering of people.
Well, that's how you're sounding.
Oh, that's bad. I'm sorry. I'm
Way
sorry,
to go,
Holocaust
Steve.
people.
But no, I find the Holocaust like, it's kind of. I think it kind of has to do with like cults, like
Yeah.
how I'm so interested in how people can
Yeah.
honestly get swept up by cults. Similar thing with the Holocaust. Like I
Like
can't believe
propaganda.
Is that your Roman Empire?
that I
But
think about all the time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
mine's
No, but I just can't believe that. Like, I mean, this was also 80 years ago, so
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
I can believe it more because it was so far back.
Yeah.
But still, like
history repeats itself.
the fact that people were able to be convinced that they could pull off that shit and that they would do that and that it was the right thing to do is
they
Genocide-
got
wild.
away
geno-
with
geno-
it for
genocide
a long
was kinda
time.
normal
Yeah, they got away
around that time.
because you could get away with it, just like serial killers.
Right.
Bro, like
got
you're,
away with
but
it.
you're not really far from slavery.
No, right, true, but still, like a developed country, like it wasn't like third world genocide, like it was. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then what was America, bro?
No, but I'm saying that, okay. When was slavery and when was the Holocaust? How far apart?
Slavery ended in the late 1800s.
Okay, so you're talking about
it's
60 years later.
Yeah, so it's like
That's the difference between the Holocaust and the year 2000. Like that's a huge amount of time.
Wait, what's the argument here?
no, you're
boys?
right. I get you. 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 Yeah. No, when I thought about the math, I was like, yeah,
The
you're
math
right.
ain't
Right.
mathin'?
No, I'm just
No,
saying
it
like
mathed. It's math.
I'm saying like by the 40s, like Germany and all these countries, like they were first world countries. They like
Okay.
the fact that this shit could happen
Yeah.
is kind of crazy to me. And he's saying, well, slavery happened, but I'm saying, but slavery was even 60 years earlier than that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was still a long time prior to that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
like, I don't know. It's just
It's all
wild.
because there was
If
no
that's not your-
technology. There's no way to get a hold of people.
right.
There's no I mean, there were cameras, but it wasn't. You weren't able to publicize it like you can now
Yeah, no,
with like live
wasn't
streaming.
a national
and-
broadcast.
Yeah.
No, and I don't mean that just in the sense that like I can't believe the rest of the world didn't find out about it. It took years for the rest of the world to find out. I'm just saying I'm surprised that the people who live there like could be convinced that this was
Yeah.
the right thing to do. Like to tell on their neighbors and be like, oh, there's a Jew down the street, let's get him. And like that's crazy that those people bought into it.
They were indoctrined.
That normal people were able to be bought into that like mindset. Like that's crazy. That's cult. That's a cult. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And that's
Nazis,
still
Republicans,
happening.
all of them.
That's still happening.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Today.
I kid.
So
Yeah.
John Amos, tell us about famous Amos.
Well, there was a point about the Holocaust. Oh, I was gonna before we get into that, because I mean, I do want to, but before we get into that, if that's not your Roman Empire, then what is?
I don't know that there's anything besides baseball that I think about every day.
Oh, ask me mine.
Is it
Ask
not,
me-
is it
ask
not
me-
peeing in urinals?
No, ask me mine.
What is it?
Ask 9/11
You think about 9/11 constantly?
every day.
Really?
Every day.
There's not a day that I don't think about 9/11.
I think about Titanic a lot, but not every day.
I think about 9/11. I literally follow a page that's called Everyday New Angle.
Everyday new
Is it
angle?
like that's giving
Oh boy.
psychopath
Let me look up
energy.
what kind of weird shit this is.
No, I mean it's literally called Everyday New Angle.
So every angle or every day there's a different angle.
Every day
of-
they post a new angle of the airplane hitting the tower.
Well, that's
That-
not the website URL, but I'll
Not
Google
not
it.
the URL. It's on Instagram. Yeah.
It's a different angle, like literally a different photo angle.
Yeah.
What is this
For
doing
how
for anybody?
long?
I don't know. It just replays different angles and different things that happened.
Oh
People
no.
falling out of buildings.
Oh, that okay. So that's not what I just said.
Yeah, but generally they try to show you a different angle you haven't seen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it like a live
no,
stream?
I thought literally what you meant was like they posted a picture here, and then the next day they post a picture 1 degree to the right,
Oh,
and the
no.
next, like, because there are pages that are like,
Oh, yeah, like progressive like that.
yeah, that are like ridiculously
No, this shows me a different angle of people,
a different
dying at 4K.
viewpoint, basically. Yeah, I see
Different
what you're saying.
viewpoint of the horrendous.
Wow, it has 340,000 followers.
Yeah, I'm 2 of them. I
It's
follow them on
a-
both my pages.
2 of them.
It's an Instagram page.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, not great, but like I literally watch it every single day. I see 9/11 every single day.
Do you think that's okay?
I'm watching some of the content right now, and I'm failing to see the 9/11.
Oh, is that on that page?
It's the
That's
newest
a girl
post.
in
It's
her
the most recent
bikini.
post.
He's playing us.
No, that's
This is
not.
9/11 is
The rest of
code
them are
for
9/11,
titties.
right?
Yeah,
How
but
many
this
are
one is
there?
not.
Well, that's what Instagram does.
I mean,
now.
that is a new angle, but
Instagram has this weird thing now where they'll take a page.
it's
like,
all 9/11 and then just
yeah,
tits on the
yeah.
beach.
It got hacked.
No,
It got
it's not
hacked.
they
hacked.
got
It's
hacked
not
by
hacked.
tits on the
They
beach.
No,
got
it's not
hacked.
hacked. Instagram does this thing now.
I mean, I'm
where
gonna follow it now, but
they have so many other pages, like pages of just car crashes, right? Or
And then-
pages of like people. What was the one I followed? People torturing insects. Pages of like end of life shit. Like they have like page of like just lightning striking, but like it'll be that for like maybe 15 posts, and then
It
titties.
gets hacked.
And they don't. I don't think they get hacked. I think.
Do
I think
they continue
think
to
they-
post
I think it's a bait and
afterwards?
switch.
I think it's a bait and switch. I think it's a bait and switch. I think they just get us on there because we're interested in like wild shit, and then they're just like titties.
They draw
titties.
you in with the 9/11 content, and then they switch you to
Oh.
titties.
Got
Classic,
it.
tale as old as time.
But are you okay?
What do you mean?
You're like, get these titties off my phone. I want to see the Twin Towers go down again.
And like you're watching, what was it? Insects get murdered,
Insects being tortured.
being tortured. How are they torturing them?
They would just do shit like
It
like,
reminds me
God,
of
burning
the-
ants and shit.
yeah, shit like that,
Ah.
or just like
I feel like that's
Like
just
ripping them limb
I
from
hate
limb
to
with
sound-
tweezers or some shit.
yeah,
I feel
like-
like.
And you're watching this?
or like take a fly and like put it in 2 cups and just shake it up.
Are you a 12-year-old boy?
FBI, are you watching?
There's just like wild pages like that. They're just like a whole bunch of wild pages, or like pages that are, or like,
All right, I need to text my wife my address.
Here's my favorite thing to watch. Right, There's like
832
a
Washington
globe.
Avenue.
there's like a globe, and then they just show you like a random city in the globe.
I love that one.
Right, there'll be
that
like
one.
15 of them, and then there'll be like a girl getting her pants pulled down and slapped on the ass, and I'm like, what?
And then they rip the wings off of a fly.
They're not on the same
But then do
page.
they continue posting after that, or it's like they drop
Like nothing
that?
happened. Like nothing happened.
So you're saying after this
After the
disgusting
first-
titty video, you're
after
saying
the
I'm gonna
first-
get a bona fide World Trade Center bombing video.
you fucking better.
Good God.
For how much longer?
And it better be a new angle.
For how much longer do they do it for?
I don't know. I just every
And then do
once
they
in
do
a while, I just-
another set of titties?
yeah, I think it's like 3 or 1.
You gotta
Like-
you gotta
like-
break up the 9/11 trauma with some
9/11
titties every once in a while.
9/11
Everybody
9/11
knows
Is it
this.
always
Nudity.
the same titty?
No,
video?
it's like just
Oh.
different random videos. A girl getting
How do
smacked
we
on the
get
You,
ass.
into
you don't
this?
think during the original 9/11 coverage they never once went to a Hooters commercial?
You think?
Come on, this is just how things progress.
I don't know.
It's always national tragedy titties.
Instagram.
I see why.
John Amos. You
Famous
know?
Amos cookies, right?
No.
Oh.
Well, his story is actually really sad.
He's an actor from Roots.
Yes, good guess.
Well, and also Coming to America, which was a pretty big, and then also Good Times. He's best known for Good Times. But the guy who made Famous Amos,
Yeah.
if you ever get a chance, look at his story because it's really interesting, kind of sad.
Wait, the cookie guy?
The cookie guy.
Okay.
It's a black guy.
Okay.
He invented it. And
Not.
black guy from California. And he actually ended up like having to sell it. And then that's when they turned it into what we eat now.
Okay.
But
It
before-
was
He
sold it to
probably
Big Cookie?
So much better.
So I don't know who he
Big
sold
Cookie
it to.
bought it.
Probably so much better before.
Yeah, and it was like soft. Yeah, but we keep shitting on John Amos's death.
John Amos died in August.
Here's the plot twist.
He didn't die.
No,
He rose again.
no. His family didn't know for like a month and a half.
What?
How?
His daughter didn't know for like a month and a half.
How?
I don't know. That's what I want to know. I want to know why you
We
didn't
want
know.
answers.
I want answers. I feel like I'm entitled now.
Yeah.
Like, how are you just finding this out? Like, can you imagine? Like, all of a sudden, like, and it's not like you didn't notice he was dead. It's,
So
it's
there was
crazy.
some estrangement.
Well, yeah, and I
obviously.
get how that can happen, but to be like he just dies and like,
Especially if you're famous. Like,
and
how
he
did
wasn't
they-
in the best of health to begin with.
So they found out on the news. I'm
Congestive heart
assuming?
failure.
No, I think they found out and then they reported it. They
Oh,
found out and
okay.
let the media know.
Wow.
That's why we didn't know.
So was he just like old and nobody checked on him in a while?
No, I mean, I think he
That's
was
awful. God, I hope he didn't have cats.
What happened?
No, stop! Don't do that.
What?
He said he's hoping he didn't have cats because cats would eat him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now
Like, I
I'm
hope his
thinking
air
about me
conditioning was
being
on.
dead and my dog being there. Like
That
she would just
just
lick
happened
me
to a
and
guy in my neighborhood.
lay on me.
A guy
He-
in my
he was-
neighborhood died last week, and his body was there for about a month in his house, and nobody knew it.
And did the cat eat him?
I don't know. I don't know if there were any animals in the home. I mean, they would either be dead or they
Imagine
eat
if
him.
your dog found you dead.
A month later, if it was just me and my dog in my house, and they find out a month later, she would either be dead of starvation or she ate me. Those are the only.
Do you,
You know
think
what I
she
mean?
would eat you?
I don't know if she would eat me. I'm just saying those are the only two outcomes.
Yeah.
She'd either be alive because she ate me,
Okay.
or she would be dead also, which would be also very sad.
I think she would die.
I think she would lay down next to me and die.
Yeah. I think my
Because-
dog would lay down next to me and die.
Yeah, which is so sad. Have you ever seen?
Yeah, I'm
do you
thinking
watch
about it.
Futurama?
No.
Okay, there's an episode of Futurama that I forced you to watch to make her cry. And because I was like, this episode makes me cry every time.
Okay.
I need to involve you in this. We need a trauma
Take
bond.
on this trauma.
We're gonna trauma bond over this episode. It's called
Okay.
Jurassic Bark,
Okay.
and the main character Fry. Do you know any of the things about
No,
Futurama? Okay.
But I can.
Long story short, the year 1999, he's a pizza delivery boy. He
Mhm.
delivers a pizza to like a scientific cryo chamber. What am I trying to say? Cryogenic
Never did.
chamber
I'm not
lab.
gonna fucking try that.
Cryogenic chamber lab,
that
and he
audio.
falls into the thing, and it locks him in for 1,000 years.
Okay.
So then, the year 3000, he finally unfreezes, and then now he's in the future. That's like the premise of the show.
Got it.
And they show a lot of flashbacks to his time in New York City back in the year 1999, and then whatever. So that episode was about his dog,
Okay.
and his dog used to stay outside of the pizza parlor that he delivered for, and every day he would give his dog a slice of pizza, whatever. And they showed like this whole thing, like his life, like with his dog. Then they showed the day that he went missing, and his dog waited outside the pizza place every day for him. And they showed like time passing
Yeah.
by, and the dog, and people would come and like feed the dog. The owner
Yeah.
eventually feeds the dog. Then the owner like starts getting hunched over, has a cane. Then the owner dies. Then the dog starts to get older and like feeble, and the dog turns white, and the dog lays down, and the dog just dies.
So you just want us to relive this trauma with
Yeah,
you?
and the dog just ends up dying in front of the pizza place. And he said something. Fry's character said something like, because he says something like, because they find like frozen. They find his dog like frozen in like carbonite, or not frozen in carbonite, but like they find the fossilized version of his dog, whatever. And he was like, "Oh, don't worry, that dog forgot about me long after I left, or whatever." And then they showed that montage of the dog not forgetting, and then eventually dying. And I was like, and that shit makes me cry every time. So I made Dee watch it, and then she was like, "Why would you show me this show? It's so sad." And I'm like, the show is mostly funny, but there are some
Yeah.
sad episodes like that. So
Okay.
I have no idea why I just told that story. What were we talking about?
John Amos and his. the fact
Oh,
that
right,
his-
of course.
His family actually, there is some estrangement going on. One of the kids accused a year ago accused one of their older brothers of abuse. Yeah, and so basically there is some estrangement and reason why they weren't notified for 45 days that their father passed on. And he was cremated last month.
Wow.
So
So it took 2 months.
nuts. But I thought that he should be honored because he is, after all that, he is in some pivotal movies that are pivotal to Black culture. and progressing Black culture and progressing Black Hollywood. So, salute to John Amos, and also salute to the Famous Amos guy, because you didn't get a fair shake either. But moving on to Luke Bryan and Beyonce.
Not Bryant, Luke Bryan.
He's got 2 first names, like Ricky Bobby.
Potatoes, tomatoes. Let's see.
I saw
Here we go.
Luke Bryan
For
at the.
everybody coming in and making country albums and all that.
Yeah.
But just by declaring that, just because she made one
doesn't mean it.
I don't need, just because I make one, I don't get any nominations.
Like
a
Ricky
lot
Bobby.
of, I mean,
a lot
I
of
just wanna go
great music
fast.
is sometimes overlooked.
a lot of
Yeah.
great music's overlooked. Sometimes you don't get nominated. Sometimes, like I said, I mean, I think the CMA, they have their voting body,
Yeah.
and they vote what they think should make it. Everybody.
Thoughts?
Actually, this is who he sounds like.
That's all I could think about was Ricky Bobby.
No, this is from Ricky Bobby, but he sounds like, oh my God.
Hey, Cal. I'm sorry about wrecking you today.
No, he sounds like Cal.
Cal.
No, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I was thinking, though, one time it would be really awesome.
It's the same.
It's the same person.
Slingshot me in for a win.
I love
okay,
that
if you
movie,
wanna have a
honestly.
Too.
So,
All right, now play that again. Or play
I'm
part
all
of it.
for everybody coming in and making albums and all that.
Yeah.
All right, now pause
just
it.
by
I was thinking about it. I mean, it's not like you're finishing 18.
How
is that not-
Nothing wrong with silver. Nothing
it's
wrong
the
with
same.
silver.
Where is Luke Bryan from? He is a country
That is Cal
boy.
Mountain Jr.
He's a country boy.
That's so funny.
So still, what is he saying about Beyonce? She didn't.
He says just because you do one album doesn't make you a country singer, and we're not gonna. You're He's basically saying she's pandering to an audience that isn't hers, and fucking stop it. And he's like, you're not respecting in this. This ain't your,
Saying you're lying.
yeah.
But there's been plenty of artists who have switched genres before.
Yeah.
There-
And I think
yeah.
she doesn't care, too.
No.
Does he have any thoughts on Post Malone?
She's going to do every single genre.
The thing
No,
is,
he doesn't, because he's a white man.
The
That's
thi-
what I'm
the-
saying.
The thing of it that
That's what I'm saying.
The thing that's hilarious about country music is that right now country music has the bop of hip hop music.
You mean like with the beats and stuff?
Yeah, they're using 808s in country music now. That's hip hop. We created that. You have to adapt to it now because nobody's listening to the same, guitar thing that they used
Yeah,
to.
she uses.
Or the slow shit, that's not gonna bop. They need bop style, and the fact that it's just weird. Like your whole genre borrows from hip hop, and you're talking shit about someone that comes from hip hop.
Well, I don't know that his music does necessarily. He might still do old school country. I don't know.
Let's play it.
I mean, I don't listen to his stuff,
Who,
but
Luke Bryan?
Yeah.
He's absolutely not using beats. And
I don't know,
he's.
but country music does use it.
yeah, but he may also not like that either.
Yeah.
Oh
'cause
well,
he's
yeah.
probably
He's probably just
extremely-
arguing for traditional country music.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see what.
this truck needs sing-alongs, need to
Oh,
be
that's country.
Oh, that's so country, but it doesn't sound.
That's country.
You can hang your t-shirt on.
Ugh, that's country. That's country. It
That's
started off.
country girl, shake it for me. You know that's playing in a barnyard somewhere
Yeah, that's country.
or my prom.
Oh yeah, he's super country.
I saw him at the most Midwest place, Porter County Fair,
Oh,
in
really?
a pit section. Yes,
In the
when
pits.
he first started. Yeah,
Wow, how long ago was
Shake
that?
it for me, girl.
probably almost 15 years ago.
Wow,
Yeah,
I took a piss next to him in Nashville.
in a urinal.
Yeah, at a urinal, exactly.
That's crazy.
He said, "I don't usually use a dang old urinal." We peed in a trough together. He slid through it.
Oh God.
No.
He was a drug.
He was the one sliding through. No, it was in Nashville, and we went to because I have a buddy who lives in Nashville, and we go see him at least once a year. And we went to this place called Acme, which I assume is still there. It's like a 3-story bar right
I'm
at the end
actually
of
going
Broadway.
there at the end of
For
October.
the first time?
No, like
Oh.
the 3rd.
Are you going to Acme?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't think so.
Well, it's the very last building on the end of Broadway, right across the river from like where the Titans play. And this was like middle of the day, and Dee and I went down there to check it out.
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
And we I don't know if it was new at the time or whatever, but anyway, we walked in. We went downstairs to go to the bathroom, and I walked into the bathroom, and I went to the urinal, and then there's a guy who came in after me and went to the urinal, and after I was done, I went to the sink, and the sink was like one of these dumbass sloped sinks, you know, where it's all just like one angle.
Yeah.
And it's a big long thing, like a slab, basically.
I hate those.
I turn the sink on, and it just
Yeah.
sprays all over, and it splashes, and it hits like all over like my waist and like my shirt,
Criminal.
you know, like it looks like I just peed all over myself. So I was like, oh my God. So I go over to the dryer, the air dryer, and I start like holding my shirt up and stuff and trying to dry it. And the guy, and Luke Bryan, who I didn't know was him at the time, he finishes up and he goes to the sink, and I said, hey, I wouldn't use that sink. It sprays. And he's like, oh, it looks like got douched down. That's what he said to me.
He said that?
Yeah, he said, looks like got douched down. and I was like, yeah, yeah.
For me, girl.
So I'm drying my shirt off.
Douche.
He said douche down. He said, look like got douched down.
Oh my God.
So then I leave the bathroom and I walk up the stairs. There's like, we were in the bathroom, like in the basement level or something. So I go up the stairs, and Dee was standing on the stairs.
And you didn't know who he was at the time.
No, and I don't like country anyway,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't have recognized him.
Yeah.
So I didn't know who he was, and I'm standing there, and he comes up the stairs, and he like, I don't know if he patted me on the back or something, but he was like, all right, take care or something like that, and kept walking. And Dee was like, do you know who that was? And I was like, no. She's like, that's Luke Bryan. And I'm like the
You're
country
like,
guy?
who?
Like I knew the name. Like I knew the name.
Yeah.
I'm like, the country guy? She's like, yeah. I'm like, no way. And so I pull my phone up, and I'm like, oh, that's totally that guy. Like that was that guy. And he's
just told
tall
me I
too.
yeah, he's very tall.
And I was like, oh my God, that's totally him. So then Dee and I are like, we gotta like, let's go find him. Like we were gonna like approach him, but like I just want to see a second look, like to see if it really was him. So then we start, and this is a 3-story place. So we like start like walking through each like level, just like looking around, pretending like we're looking for something, like not a person. And then eventually we did find him, I think on the second level, and he was sitting there with some really pretty blonde, which made sense. And then like either his parents or her parents, but like 2 older people. And nobody else was in this place. So he spotted us walking around. So we're walking around, and I like look over, and he like looked at us, and then I was like, oh my God. And then we just did like a loop around, and then we went upstairs, and I was like, I just peed next to Luke Bryan. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah,
like I knew
he
the name,
probably
but I didn't know.
appreciated that.
It was right next door
or
to.
it humbled him and he respected you.
Yeah.
Remember when we ate that chicken upstairs? It was a place next to it.
Okay.
The first chicken.
Where'd you eat? It wasn't Hattie B's, right?
No, we didn't go to Hattie B's.
Because Hattie B's is on the opposite end of Broadway.
No, it was newer. No, it's a place. Wasn't a chicken place. It was a place that you could go and play like the rolly pins and stuff in.
Oh,
but they
yeah.
had chicken.
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't a designated. It was like a bar.
We don't really go.
But the first one, I know where Acme is. I remember seeing people.
Acme
going
is
to that
literally the last building
Yeah.
at the end of Broadway,
All the way
next
down
to
at
the
the
river.
bottom. Yeah.
All the way down at the bottom next to the
Yeah,
river.
I vividly remember. 'cause
Dee and I
remember-
don't go down Broadway much anymore, just because we've done it enough. And
Yeah.
like,
You do it
It
once,
was
you don't have to
very
do it again.
overwhelming for me.
I would only
Yeah.
do it if you like. I'm not walking up and down like looking for stuff.
The
I would like
hills.
know which one I'm going to, or if it's something that I want to go see, then I'll go there. Otherwise, besides that, if there's one of those food joints over there, I'll go. But yeah, I can't see.
I mean,
myself
if you're in
walking.
your 20s and you're single,
Yeah.
like Broadway is fucking wild. Like they
Yeah.
close the streets off. It's a good ass
if you're
time.
bringing sand to the beaches, you have no reason to be over there.
But like
None.
it's a fun. I mean, Broadway is fun. I really do like Nashville, but like we've just done it enough to where like, and my buddy lives there, so he tells us about all the places off Broadway to go
Right.
down like Printer Alley and like things like that. And we
No,
stop
I
at
have
the
to
Gulch.
go for a bachelorette party. And
Oh, then you're gonna be on Broadway, I'm sure,
Yeah.
and you're gonna see the pedal taverns going
Yeah.
by and
Yeah.
the whole all
or
the
maybe do
sashes.
'em.
Everyone's wearing sashes.
yeah, I'll probably be in them.
Yeah, he'll probably
in
wear
an
a
army
sash.
tank or some shit.
Yeah,
Shake
And
it
matching
for
shirts.
me.
But-
girl.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you said you've been to Nashville?
Yeah, I went
Okay.
on like a family trip with like my parents and my siblings and my nephews and niece. And we were like 45 minutes outside in the mountains. We stayed in like a
Oh, cool.
it was really cool. But
Like Gatlinburg or something? I don't know how close that is to Nashville, but
it's
go to,
actually no. It's not.
it might have been, honestly, or I don't
there's
think
like
so,
Pigeon
but
Forge. That's another popular
something.
place.
Yeah, it was just like you had to drive to Nashville.
Okay.
So we did one day trip with the kids, and that was just like us going to museums and shops, and then one night me and my sister and like their significant others all went out there for like a night. And it was overwhelming. And I was like 20, 22 maybe, but we didn't I was just people watching.
Yeah, I mean, there's great people watching on Broadway.
Yeah, crowded, very
just
crowded.
Drunks stumbling all over. You see people trying to pick up.
Yeah, I think every time I go there, I'm just people watching.
Yeah,
especially because like a lot of those places have balconies or rooftops, and you could just like a couple of years ago, the last time I think I was on Broadway actually. My buddy who lives there took us to Justin Timberlake's place. I can't remember what it's called, but he's got a
it's
place.
called Justin's.
Huh?
I think it's called Justin's.
No, it's not. It's got numbers in it. It's like the 30-30 club or the 20-30 club, something like that.
I remember
probably.
maybe 20.
seeing it. I remember seeing no one like it.
That's
saw
his
name.
album.
Yeah.
2020 experience.
It's got numbers in the title. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, we went there. It had like just opened or something. We went up on the roof and we just like sat on the roof and just looked over on Broadway and just watched people for a while.
It's right on the corner, right? On a corner.
I don't think so. I don't think it's on a corner. But like not every celebrity, but like so many of those places are like celebrity owned. You know, like Luke Bryan, I think has a bar. Like everybody has a bar.
Yeah.
Kid Rock, I think, has a bar on Broadway. You know, everyone's got one now. But I was gonna say, if you have any free time while you're down in Nashville, like a free afternoon or something, I would recommend going to Franklin, Tennessee, which is like 45 minutes southwest of Nashville. If you just want more like a chill little town, Dee loved that town. We went there a couple weeks ago. And she said, like, it's giving Gilmore Girls. Every little adorable shop and store and every, like, little cutesy bookstore and whatever else. I mean, it was like a little town out of, like a rom-com.
Unfortunately, we won't have a car. So that's...
Well, then
we're
not going to Franklin.
But I want to do that.
It's a very up-and-coming, like, little town. Like that. Like, I think a lot of Nashville is so overcrowded now.
Yeah.
That people are spreading into the suburbs and, like, making those places cool. So
I love me a suburb.
I think Franklin is, like, the next, like, little cool spot around Nashville. So
dope. Well, got through all our topics this week. That's pretty dope.
Good job, guys. We did it.
Yeah.
I don't even know
only
what
an hour
time
and a half.
it is. Woo!
You didn't like an hour and 40, I think? That's not bad.
1:41.
I can tell it's my bedtime because I'm getting sleepy.
Like I said, I have
I
like
feel like a sleepy time bear.
I have like 2.5 hours of TV to watch when I get home.
No,
This edible hit, so.
Oh, you're rolling, huh?
I still have a 30-minute drive.
I'm not putting away shit when I'm done. I'm just gonna hit that fridge
for your 2 hot dogs.
Oh man, I might DoorDash something.
I'm gonna go home, watch the finale of The Circle, eat some popcorn.
Are we sharing our nights?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I'm like, I'm gonna go home, go to bed. I don't even need to pop my melatonin tonight. I'm gonna sit out.
You're gonna sit out?
Just fall out.
What?
She's gonna die.
Are you sleeping right now? What's happening? Are you already shutting down?
I think so.
Okay, cool. And you're gonna drive?
Yeah.
Fun.
No, I'll be okay.
All right, guys. Take care. Brush your hair.
Bye.